I thought I'd keep you posted on the food and drink service here in the upper class section. So it's the first round of drinks. You can have anything you want. I've asked for a nice cup of English breakfast tea. Comes in this rather fun mug. I like the fact that it's in a mug. It's not in a sort of cup or just in a throwaway. It's a proper China mug. Tastes good. I've also ordered a glass of sparkling water. A little tip, I think, in terms of trying to manage jet lag, because this is a 9-hour, 20-minute flight to Seattle, and Seattle is 8 hours behind the UK. So I'll be landing around about 1 hour, 20 minutes after I took off, even though it will be almost 10 hours that I took off. So jet lag could be quite bad. So I'm avoiding alcohol, which I think is one of the tips. Stay hydrated, avoid alcohol. I mean, you should avoid caffeine as well, but do like a cup of tea. And in terms of little nibbles that you get whilst we're waiting for the meal to be served, they're giving me this rather nice little pot of crisps. These are chili flavour. Really good sort of kettle chips, quite posh. Really crunchy. And they've also given me a shortbread biscuit as well. So I'm not sure I'm going to have that, so I'm waiting for my food to arrive. But yeah, overall, feeling quite relaxed. This retreat suite really does feel very exclusive, upmarket. Really like it. So much space, ridiculous. So yeah, I'm going to carry on with this. I'll see you when the actual food arrives. So before the food comes, I thought it was worth having a look through the menu to see what's on offer today. You can order food whenever you like, but this is what you get after takeoff. Let me just read it out for you. So there's a choice of 2 different starters. We've either got sticky Korean gochujang chicken, which is served with sesame dumplings and spring onion, or grilled asparagus with saffron mayonnaise, shaved Italian cheese and potato salad. So I have chosen the sticky Korean chicken. Let me just put the light on in here. This still works for the light, by the way. I'll put the light on, give me a bit more, there we go, be a bit brighter for me to be able to read these a bit easier. For the mains, we've got panko coated truffle and garlic stuffed chicken breast, summer greens, baby carrots, or with Hasselback potatoes, so quite impressive. Or sesame chicken, chili and lime roasted salmon, served with potato gratin, tender stem and namjim sauce, or pea tortellini, which is pistachio, mint pesto cream, asparagus, broccoli, feta, garlic herb crumb. So I've chosen the pea tortellini, so they're the 2 options I've gone for. There's 2 desserts as well, which is white chocolate and passion fruit bavarois, or Dickie's toffee pudding. It's actually meant to be, anyway, Dickie's toffee pudding. It's usually sticky toffee pudding, isn't it? But this is Dickie's, or British cheese plate. I haven't chosen the dessert yet, they haven't asked me about it. You can also have an express lunch, which is roasted pepper, tomato and harissa soup. And then later, they're going to give me a mile-high tea, so I will talk to you about that. Now, in terms of the wine list, I know people are interested in what wines you're getting on board. 2 different types of fizz on here. You can have an English sparkling wine or a Laurent Perrier, so quite a good choice. For the white wines, you've got Chardonnay from California, 2024. We've got Sauvignon Blanc from Argentina and a Pinot from England. So they're the choices for the whites. For the red, we've got a Merlot blend from France and what's the one? There's a red from Sicily, Nero d'Avola. There's a rosé and 2 dessert wines. And then for beers, you've got Camden Hells Lager, Brewdog Wingman, Corona, Lucky Saint 0.5%, and Gravity Theory, and then a whole lot of spirits and cocktails. So that's the menu for today. So I'll see you when the food arrives. So the first course of my food has arrived, and it's basically sticky Korean chicken. Nicely presented, nicely served. I've also got a little bit of bread with some butter and these very cute salt and peppers, which are basically little mini aircraft. They look quite impressive. They look like they're gold, but they're quite light and plastic. And I quite like on the bottom, it says pinched from Virgin Atlantic, which is quite funny. If you're going to take that home, everybody can see where you got it from. Okay, now you get a proper napkin ring here, which is quite good, so metal, and a genuine napkin, and some real cutlery, metal cutlery. Okay, so let's see what this sticky Korean chicken is like. It's quite a thick, dark sauce, some greens in here, and some chilies. So I'm going to get a nice spork. It's really good, really tasty, really nice sauce. Is it spicy? A tiny bit spicy, not much. It's chicken thighs, so it's sort of the chewier, more succulent part of the meat. Oh, it's really good actually. Quite impressed with that. And probably about the right sort of amount in terms of as a starter. I didn't want too much food. See what the bread's like. It's warm, quite crusty, quite crispy, pretty good. Let's have some of this butter. Comes with a nice little thing on top, so you can pull it off. See how hard it is. Oh, it's pretty good actually. It's spreadable. Bread's good. The butter's quite salty, which goes quite well with this Korean chicken starter. Overall, really impressed with the food, the environment, the layout, everything, apart from my remote control. But, you know, such is life. You never get anything that's perfect. So I'm going to finish this. I'll see you when the main course turns up. The main course has now arrived, and it's pea tortelloni. So served in a very nice bowl. Thought it might be a bit greener than that, but looks pretty good. It's got asparagus and feta cheese in there as well. So let's have a look. So the actual tortelloni is quite big. There's 3 pieces of tortelloni and some broccoli. So let's to the side. And this is a Italian cheese sauce as well. So the sauce itself got quite a strong pea flavour, a little bit cheesy, mostly sort of, I would say it's overriding pea, quite tasty. The pasta, quite al dente. Oh, it's quite salty as well. I think that may be the feta cheese, adding a bit of salt to it. And a little bit of the broccoli. See what that's like. Very soft. Probably like mine a little bit more al dente. A little bit more of this pasta. I'll bring it over, you can sort of see what it's like. I think for a vegetarian dish, it's quite hearty, quite filling, really quite tasty actually. And even though there's only 3 pieces of the tortelloni, I think that's enough because it's quite filling. I think for a meal served on board a plane, that's really quite tasty, really good, works well together. I'm quite impressed with that. So I'm going to finish the rest of this. I'll see you when the dessert comes. It's now time for dessert, and there were 3 choices. There was a white chocolate parfait, which I decided not to have. There was something to do with biscuit, can't remember what it was, or one of my personal favourites, sticky toffee pudding. I have to say, the portion is really quite massive. Comes with a little side serving of cream, which looks good. I mean, there's a good amount of sticky toffee sauce in there, which is what it's all about. So, let's see what it's like. I put a bit of this cream on. Quite excited about this. And that's what it looks like when the cream mixes in with the toffee sauce. Really quite good. Okay, that's what it looks like. Let's see what it tastes like. It's really good. Plenty of toffee on the top and around the sides, which is what you need. It's basically sticky toffee pudding, if you haven't had it. It's a sponge, like a chocolatey type sponge, with caramel sauce, toffee, but the toffee really makes it. But you always need something like custard or a cream just to offset the sweetness and the stickiness of the sauce. Sticky toffee pudding, I think, is actually made with dates. That's what sweetens it. So I guess it's slightly healthier than if I was just having a chocolate sponge dessert. And I'll add a little bit more cream. It's a little bit more on there. Look at that. Absolutely delicious. So overall, this meal that I've just had, yeah, I'm pretty impressed. The starter was good, nice and flavoursome, not too big. Really good chicken. The pea tortellini, yeah, I like that. That was nice. And this sticky toffee pudding, it's awesome. So I'm going to finish this off and I'm going to try and get my remote control to work. So it's still playing up, but it's not causing me too much grief. Anyway, cheers. Just wanted to keep you posted on the food situation. Around about an hour after the main lunch service, they brought round some ice creams for everybody. So it's just on a tray. There were two options. This is the standard one, which is cherry pie in the sky. So it's actually branded for Virgin, and there was a lemon sorbet for vegans, which they wouldn't let me have because I'm not vegan. I think you have to tell them in advance. So there's a little spoon and lid. That's what it looks like. Let's see what it tastes like. Quite frozen. Oh wow, a really strong cherry flavour. It's got sort of ripples of cherry running through it. It does taste very strongly of cherry though. I told you I'd keep you posted on all the food, and we've now got a bit of pizza. So this has come round, Slice Baby. So this is a special pizza made for Virgin. You don't get a choice, it's just the standard pizza. I think it's just a margherita. Well, let's have a look at what it's like. Warm. This is it. So it looks a little bit like the frozen pizzas that you might get from the supermarket, where you unwrap it and it's ready in a very short space of time. Let's see what it tastes like. It tastes like one of those frozen pizzas from the supermarket, if you've ever had one. You know, the quite cheap ones, the ones that might cost you like £1 or $1 or something like that. That's the bottom of it. Quite bready. Compared to the rest of the food that we've had on the plane, it's not really up to scratch. But it's okay, it's something to do. I think the food that we had for the main meal and the ice cream were all really high end. This, pretty low quality, so I'm not going to bother eating the rest of that. But, you know, it's quite a nice gesture for them to bring something round and give you something. Breaks up the day a little bit. So I'm going to carry on watching some of the entertainment, and I'll see you for a very special meal soon. I'm having afternoon tea. Yay! So here's the menu, and it says, quite amusingly, that this is Mile High afternoon tea. Technically, I guess it is. Not the sort of Mile High you were thinking of, so put that out of your mind. So this Mile High tea, it all comes in one go, and it doesn't come on a platter or a tier or anything like that. It comes on a nice tray. But I think, they've done quite a good job, and I wanted to make this video because I've made a lot of afternoon teas, and I've done some unusual ones, and this is probably one of the most unusual. So I thought I'd share it with you. A little bit of fun, a bit different to normal. So let's start with the savoury course. Now, it's a bit smaller than normal. We've only got 3 sandwiches, which I think is probably the least I've ever had. Normally you get 4 or 5, sometimes even 6. But we've got 3 today, which is fine. And 2 of them are the same, which I think is the first time I've had an afternoon tea where they've repeated the sandwiches without giving me a refill. So we've got, this one is ranch chicken on malted bread. So I think ranch chicken means that it's probably got some sort of dressing in there as well, but the bread looks pretty decent and there's a good amount of filling in there. Let's see what it tastes like. That's actually quite nice. I've had a lot worse sandwiches than that. There's quite a lot of good amount of chicken in there. Really tasty, really lean. I like that. Surprisingly good. Now, there's only English breakfast tea available, and you get it in a virgin mug. But I don't mind tea in a mug. I used to get quite a lot of it. Just got black, it's quite strong. See how that goes down with the chicken ranch sandwich. Not a bad cup of squash. Yeah, that's all right. I mean, given the fact that we are flying over the Atlantic Ocean, I think that's okay. Right, let's get on to sandwich number 2. Let me read off the menu, I'll tell you what it is. So it says pickle and sliced cheddar cheese on white bread. So this is what it looks like. You can see a little bit of the pickle in there, a little bit of cheese. The filling looks a little bit skimpy. There's a lot of bread compared to this filling, but let's see what it tastes like. I like a bit more cheese on my cheese and pickle sandwich. That is a little bit too thin for me. 3 or 4 slices would have been better. Tastes okay. I could definitely have made a better one than that. And it's always disappointing when you eat out and you think, I could have done better. What's the point? So the chicken one was good. The cheese one, not too good. Okay. I will put these to one side for a moment, and actually I'm going to eat the rest of those, and I'll see you in a moment for my favourite part of any afternoon tea, the scone. Okay, the sandwiches are all done. In terms of can you get a refill? Well, actually you can here, because a lot of people on this plane aren't actually having this meal because they're asleep, because I'm on a 9.5-hour flight to Seattle. It's an 8-hour time difference when you get there, so a lot of people are getting some rest, but I'm not, because I wanted to soldier on and have this afternoon tea. As soon as I saw it on the menu, I thought, I've got to have that. It's now time for the scones, but unfortunately it's not scones today, it's scone singular, not plural. But that's fine. This isn't a full afternoon tea, it's a sort of pared down version. So I've got my one scone. It is warm now. If I put it on my cheek, that's still nice and warm. And it looks okay, actually. It feels quite light, and it's quite hard on the outside. The key question is, can I break this? Because if you follow me, you'll know that you don't cut your scones. There is a knife here. I've got a knife and fork in here, but if you're going to do scones the proper way, it's going to have to break. So can I break this I don't know. It looks like there's a bit of a seam. Let's see whether I can break it without it shattering. It's tricky. You're going to have to be quite skilled with this one. Oh, I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to have to cut it. It's going to break. It's definitely going to break. So I'm going to go against my own rule and cut it with a knife. So I think otherwise it's just going to be in pieces. So even cutting it with a knife, it might break. Yeah, it's breaking up. Very crumbly scone. Oh no. Okay, I've managed to cut it. You can see this piece is already starting to break. So I guess if you're at 35,000 feet and it's been reheated just now, it probably does make it more fragile, but the bottom bit's okay. Now, it's not a fruit scone. As you can see, it's just an ordinary scone. So let's see what it tastes like. Now, in terms of the jam and the cream, we've got a couple of usual suspects here. So this is Wilkin and Sons that I've had on many previous afternoon teas. So quite a lot of teas in London serve this, usually a slightly bigger jar than that. And this is strawberry jam. So I've had that before, it's quite good. And the clotted cream is the most famous one in the UK if you're buying a brand. It's Rodder. So I've had that plenty of times before as well. And it looks pretty good. It's got a nice crust on the top. You can see it's sort of a lot dark yellow on the top. That means it's sort of crusted over a little bit. Now, which way round to do the jam and the cream? So, as you know, if you put the cream on first, that's the Cornish way, cream first and jam second, relating to Cornwall, the county in England. If you put, sorry, that's the Devon way. Oh, got it wrong. If you put the jam on first and the cream on top, that's the Cornish way. Now, I prefer jam first because if I put the cream on first, I sort of feel like I'm having a sandwich, like it's just putting butter on bread. Whereas if I put jam on, if I'm making a jam sandwich, I don't put the jam on first and then the butter on top. So it feels like I'm doing something that's just for scones. So it's only when I'm having scones do I put the jam first and then the cream second. So I'm going to put a good amount of cream on here to try and keep it together because it is breaking up a little bit. So what's it like? The jam and the cream, great, really tasty, good strong strawberry flavour. That cream, really nice. The scone, it's not the best scone I've ever had, let's face it, but it's all right. It works. The only problem with it is breaking up, so I'm going to have to have it in little pieces and it's going to be a bit messy. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll see you in a moment for the cakes. And it's double, it is a plural, there are 2 cakes. I'll see you for that, but I'm going to have a little bit more of my tea. See you in a minute. So the scone is gone, I've had that, and it's now time for the cakes. And we've got a couple of options here. So we've got a strawberry and vanilla Battenberg. Let's start with that. Now, if you've been following me, you'll know that I'm not a huge fan of Battenberg if it tastes too much of almonds. Not really my favourite, but quite colourful. And it's strawberry and vanilla, so I'm hoping it does taste of strawberry and vanilla rather than marzipan. Yeah, it's a sort of mixture of strawberry and vanilla and marzipan. It's better than a standard Battenberg, but I'd still prefer a different type of catering. Yeah, I'm still very Battenbergy, so I'm going to have a bit of tea, I think, to just cleanse the palate after that one. So I've got this, saved the best until last. This is a chocolate fudge eclair. Now, I've not had a chocolate fudge eclair before. It looks quite good. Actually looks like it's got some gold leaf on the top. Everybody loves a bit of gold leaf. Not sure why we're eating gold, but we are. quite fudgy. I'd say more fudgy than chocolatey. It's not bad. I think I've probably had worse cakes, probably, somewhere at some of the afternoon teas I've been to. A little bit more tea to wash that down, I think. Okay, so what's my overall assessment of this afternoon tea, high tea, mile high tea, here at 35,000 feet above the Atlantic Ocean on Virgin Atlantic? Well, clearly it doesn't really compare to most of the afternoon teas I've been to. This is sort of, it's apples and pears. But in terms of the price, let's talk about the price, because that's always an important factor. You have to weigh up how much this tea's cost. Well, this one was absolutely free because I paid my price for my ticket. I've had some food already. This is just included as part of my fares.
Whoa, whoa, whoa there, Joe. Just hold off with that score. As you can see, I'm now in Seattle. This is the most famous landmark in Seattle, this Space Needle. And I've been thinking about that score, and I think I was a bit too harsh. I was actually benchmarking the Mile High afternoon tea against all of the other teas that I've had in places like the Ritz and the Dorchester and the Savoy. And obviously that's not a fair comparison, because we're talking about a meal that's served on board an aircraft, has to be prepared a long time in advance, and also it's mass produced for all of the people on the plane. There were 200 odd people on that plane. So I don't think that was really the right benchmark. And actually, when I spoke to a lot of the other passengers, they really loved it. They thought it was fantastic, particularly the people who don't have afternoon tea very often, maybe some of the American passengers. They thought it was a really nice touch. And looking back on it, I agree with them. I think it was a really nice thing to do, because the other thing that you get given on planes, sometimes you just get a sandwich that's wrapped up in a bit of cling film or in a bag, or maybe it's just a muffin. So they'd gone to quite a lot of effort and they'd actually done quite a good job. So I think my original score, which I'll withhold at this stage, I don't really want to disclose it, I'm going to change it, I want to upgrade it, and I'm going to give the Mile High afternoon tea a very solid 5 out of 10. I would have given it a 6, but they gave me 2 of the same sandwich. I think that was something that definitely could have been improved upon.